I'm going to turn my attention to the part that wanted deep rest and see what we can learn about this part's role. So the first thing I'm doing is I just want to see how this part shows up, how I experience this part that said that deep rest was needed. So what I'm hearing is, feels like this part is speaking for many different parts in my system. What it said was everyone was exhausted, and I wanted to make sure that everyone got to rest. And this is what I meant by deep rest was needed. And this part kind of has I don't know, it's kind of like a relaxed body. The way that it's kind of holding its body is just kind of lounging, kind of relaxed and lounging. So I'm just letting this part know that I'm really curious about its role in providing deep rest. And so what it first says is, I know Pricklee wanted to do all the things, wanted to be busy from sunup to well after midnight, but everyone was exhausted, and this trip was planned over a year ago, or at least a year ago. So this part was saying this trip was planned over a year ago before we lost my dad. And it's reminding me that my dad had just passed 2 months before we actually went on the cruise. And it's saying many of us, referring to my parts, many of us were emotionally, mentally, and physically exhausted. And we were looking forward to the cruise as downtime, time to disconnect from work, the loss. It's a time to rest. And this part is saying, yes, we did want to have fun, but we needed to balance fun with rest, introspection, reflection. There's so many parts that are just like totally agreeing with what this one is saying. So the one that is speaking about rest says that if we would have done all the things that we planned to do as we put this cruise together and as this cruise date grew closer, but before my dad's passing, yeah, we would have wanted to do all of those things. But it's saying that everything changed on June 1st, and the cruise was August 10th. Everything, it's just saying, she's just shaking her head. Everything changed on June 1st. She said that the focus of this cruise shifted from the exciting bucket list checkoff cruise to a time for rest. That's what she just said. We all needed to rest. I'm just letting her know that I get that. I get that. You all were living in a body that was just so very exhausted. So I'm noticing Pricklee to the side, and she's just taking this all in. And she's saying that she didn't realize so many others were so tired, because she was basking in the excitement of the upcoming cruise while others were just so very tired. So this is, on some level, this is news for her, like an update of knowing that she wasn't experiencing the exhaustion, but she has compassion. That's her words. She said, but I have compassion for those who were. And she's graciously stepping back on her own and saying, I know that you need to stay connected with these others. I'm thanking her for that too, for giving us space. So yeah, the one that said that rest was so needed also is sharing that she was in a tug of war with Pricklee, because she knew that this was she felt that this was a better use of the time away to rest, reflect, be pensive, be with the loss. And she's saying she didn't want to disconnect from this huge life event of loss of our dad. I just want to make sure I'm getting this right. She didn't want us to disconnect from the loss by having a hard time. I don't know if she'd stopped talking or I'm not understanding. Oh, she's trying to be sensitive to Pricklee. And so she's trying to choose her words and be sensitive. Yeah. Okay, I get that. But what she's saying is that, or the felt sense, because she's really not saying anything, but I get the felt sense that what she's trying to communicate is that she didn't want to engage in a lot of frivolous things when something so significant had happened in her life. Pricklee said she's not offended. She gets it. And so the one that was focused on rest felt that it was much more important. Oh, okay, not important. That she was actually balancing Pricklee's desire to do a lot of things and her desire for rest by not engaging in the nighttime activities in order to give the downtime and rest for actually two reasons. One, just because we were in need of the physical rest, but also to be able to engage in the next excursion. And she's saying, and remember, it was really hot in Greece, and it took a lot of energy to be out in the hot sun all day, seeing the ruins, enjoying the landscape and the different islands. And so rest was needed for two reasons. So she's saying, so it wasn't only to grieve, it was also so that we preserved energy so that Pricklee could also get the trip that she wanted. So I'm just thanking her for her wisdom in knowing that we could not go this whole time on that trip. And that downtime was really needed. And it was enjoyed and appreciated. Yeah, I remember just being on the back of the ship and just laying in one of the beach loungers or being on my balcony and just sitting, enjoying the sounds of the Mediterranean Sea. I'm so grateful.